morning, everyone. My name is Malin and welcome to my backyard. Today we are practicing an O levels vinyasa class. We're going to learn a little bit how to uh, prep to handstand. And again, everything that we do. So handstand is obviously, it's an advanced posture or an advanced asana, and everything that we do on the mat it can be broken down, right? So it can lead to something. We start somewhere, so we're going to open up a lot into our hamstrings. We're going to open up the shoulders. We're going to stretch and strengthen the shoulders. As always, we listen to the breath. We let that be our guide to where we need to be. One day the practice is going to look very different from another day. And we take what we need each time we step onto the mat and we learn something about ourselves. We sit and we are a little bit uncomfortable at times, and we see what shows up, see what's happening, and we take it from there. So let's come into a comfortable seat, however that might look like for you. I also got these beautiful flowers when I taught this morning over at Yoga 6 in Carlsbad at the forum from students, well wishes. So it was a very special morning. I keep that very, very close to my heart. Let's come to the seat. Close your eyes and start listening into your breath. Just taking a moment naturally. Let's do some Nadi Shodhana pranayama. So take your right hand, and bring your pointer and your middle finger together, and then turn your palm facing yourself. Take a breath in through the nose. Close your right nostril with your thumb. Exhale out through the left. Breathe in through your left nostril. Close the left nostril. Exhale out through the right. Completely emptying out. Breathe in through your right. Close the right nostril. Exhale through the left. And you keep going. Breathe in left. Exhale right. You can close your eyes. Keeping the gaze soft. Cleaning out there. Nadis, airways, the energy to flow more freely in our body. Getting out of rhythm to the breath. One more round, making sure you're exhaling out through the right nostril. Just letting your hands return to your knees. For a moment, just breathe naturally. Sitting up tall, you are creating a pattern to the breath, drawing the internal gaze to drishti inwards, and then transitioning to the Ujjayi pranayama. Sealing your lips, breathing in and out through the nose. Find that light contraction at the back of the throat as you're keeping the inhale consistent to exhale. Engage your pelvic floor for your Mula Bandha. Draw the navel towards your spine, your Uddiyana Bandha. Blink your eyes open, roll over onto your hands and knees, coming into all fours. I have a very playful dog right now. Keeping your hands under the shoulders. You can tuck your toes. You're getting a little stretch into the arches of your feet. You can reach your heels back. Press into the fingertips, the knuckle, the palm of the hand. Rotate your tail up. Drop the belly, widening through your heart. Exhale, round your spine. Press the mat away from you into the chest, feeling the contraction between your shoulder blades. Inhale up. Exhale, round. Breathe in. Exhale, round. Back into a neutral spine. Now untuck the toes. So take your big toes together. Shift your hips to the heels. Keep your knees wide. And just get your torso wiggling between your legs. Stay here in this child's pose. And inhale, rise up to all fours. Tuck your toes, lift your hips downward facing down. Belly button in. Into your hands. Pull your armpits in. Lift your kneecaps, hollowing out your belly. The beauty of working from home, school, office, yoga, having dogs. Inhale, lift your heels, walk your feet forward. All the way towards the top of the mat. Keep your feet hip width apart. Let your torso rest onto the thighs. Drop the head down. Take the hands to the elbows and be heavy. Take your hands down and then start rolling up along your spine. Hold the belly button in. Nice and slow. You come all the way up. Bring the shoulders to the ears. Exhale, slide them down. Your back palms facing forward. Rooting into all four corners of your feet. Then neutralize your hips. As you're grounding, you want to sort of bend your thighs out a little bit as you're lifting up. Relax the shoulders down. Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, reach your arms up and over, Urdhva Hastasana. Bring your palms together, shift your weight. Exhale, hinge at your hips, fold forward. Take your hands down towards the earth, look between your legs. Inhale, come into a half lift. Just lift your torso slightly off your thighs, pull the belly back in, the chin from the chest, shoulder blades down your back. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet to plank pose, and hold it here for this first one. Hips are neutral, and then shoulders are over your hands. Heels are reaching back, lift your kneecaps and press the mat away from you. Look straight down and we breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. This first one, exhale, take your knees down to the mat, rotate your tailbone up, bend your elbows, take the chest and chin down. Look forward, that's a little wrinkle. And then let your hips come down, untuck your toes, lift your heart for cobra. Keep pressing the pubic bone into the mat, heart moves forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, come up to all fours. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Come back to the breath. Ujjayi breath, the breath that we established in the very beginning. To rotate your tailbone up. Inhale, lift your heels. Then exhale, bend these quite a bit. As much as your hips allows it. Look where you want to take your feet between your hands, and then you can take a couple of steps. You take one step forward, the other foot, you can hop, you can float. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bow. Inhale, reach your eyes, reach your arms up and over, Urdhva Hasana. Exhale, hands by your side, Samasthiti. So that works beautiful as a modified vinyasa, Sun A, Chaturanga. Here comes the next one. Inhale, reach your arms up and over, Urdhva Hasana. Exhale, bow, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet to plank pose. You can take your knees down, take the first variation, otherwise lower down halfway to a push-up. Inhale, press the mat away from you. Come to the tops of the feet, so firm up your legs, press the mat away from you, and then roll your shoulder blades down your back, and then lift the chin from the chest, upward facing dog. Exhale, lift your hips up and back, a downward facing dog, and we breathe 5 breaths again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bow. Inhale, root to rise, reach your arms up and over, Urdhva Hasana. Exhale, hands by your side, Samasthiti. Inhale, arm comes up. I just have to check. Make sure I'm not stepping on my leg. Exhale, bow, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet to plank pose. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, and breathe for 5. Remember, you can come to child's pose if you want to, anytime. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bring your arms up and over. Exhale, hands by your side, Samasthiti. Surya Namaskara B. So we're taking the first one, very nice and very slow. So big toes together. Make sure you have space behind you. Hips are neutral again. Take your hands by your side. Exhale, bend your knees, sit to chair pose, brush your fingertips by the floor, squeeze into the midline. Neutralize your hips and then see if you can lift your chest up. You can have your hands wide. You can bring your palms together. But wherever you are, squeeze your legs, your palms touching, squeeze it in, lift your chin up. Again, feel how your lower ribs want to come back in. For 5, relax shoulders. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, release, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step into plank. Take your chaturanga. You can also leave them out. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. This first one, stay to the ball of your right foot. Step your left foot between your hands. Hips are squared, the knees over the ankle. Inhale, rise up. So this is high lunge, Ashtashandrasana. Try to neutralize your hips. You can bring that, or you can bend your left knee. Again, lift your heart. Chin away from the chest. Maybe you start straightening your left knee, getting deep into the hip flexor. We breathe for 5. Relax shoulders. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, hand comes down. Step your feet to plank pose. Lower into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stay to the ball of your right foot. Step your left foot between your hands. Toe points forward, knees over the ankle. Inhale, rise up. Again, you can bend the right knee. Bring your hands up. See how it feels. And maybe reaching the heel back, straightening out your knee, finding that long line into the sides, lift your chin. 5, 4, pelvic floor engages. 3, 2, and 1. Take your hands down, step into plank pose, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. And stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold big toes together, bend your knees. Inhale, sit to chair pose. Come to standing. Samasthiti. So you're going to change it up just a little bit. Bend your knees, inhale, sit to chair. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet to plank. Lower to chaturanga. Nice and slow. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. And this time you're spinning your left heel down, so 45 degrees. Set your right foot between your hands. Try to get the knees over the ankle, draw your hip back. Inhale, rise. So this is warrior 1, Virabhadrasana. Bring your arms up, and you feel how you're hugging lower ribs in. So hands can stay parallel, or bring your palms together. Shift again. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Open up your arms. Exhale, left over your right. So hold to the shoulders or wrap it around as much as you can. Try to move the hands away from you, and then find the lift into your elbows, stretching between your shoulder blades. So you may stay here, or exhale. You start folding forward, coming into humble warrior. Snuggle the hip underneath your chin to the chest. And breathe out. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, rise. Release your hands up and over, back into warrior 1. Exhale, hand comes down, step to plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Same thing. Left heel comes down. You're grounding into the back edge of your left foot, right foot. Left foot steps between your hands. And the breath takes you up. Draw that left hip back. Rounding into the foot, quad is engaged. Shift the gaze, relax the shoulders, go by. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Open up your arm, take your right over left, so either the shoulders or wrap it around again. Move the hands away and then find your lift. So again, you can stay here, option, or you're folding into humble warrior, chin to the chest, broadening over the shoulder blades. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale. Come all the way up. Release your hands up and over. Exhale. Take your hands down. Step into plank pose. Lower to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Remember, you can come to child's pose. We'll just take 5 breaths in down dog. Wherever you choose to be, we recenter, withdraw the awareness back inwards. We check in with our mind. Be sure we're here, not back outwards. Any other tasks that you might have coming up. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, half. Exhale, bow. Bend your knees. Inhale, sit to chair. Samastita. So we're going to take this now and we're going to move one breath, one movement. So it becomes this moving meditations becomes fluid. So make sure you have space behind you again. Hips are neutral. Hugging into the midline. Bend your knees. Inhale, sit to chair pose. Exhale, fold. Listen to your breath. Inhale, half. Exhale, step to plank. Lower to chaturanga. Inhale, upward. Exhale, downward facing. Left heel down, step your right foot between the hands. Inhale, rise to warrior one. Open up your arms. Exhale, left over right. Inhale, lift. Remember, you can stay. Or exhale, fold. Inhale, rise back up. Release your hands over your head. Virabhadrasana one. Exhale, step to plank pose into your push-up. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Spin your right heel down, left foot steps between your hands. Inhale, right, warrior one. Open up your arms. Exhale, rise over left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold if you did. Inhale, rise back. Release your hands up and over. Exhale, hand comes down. Step to plank pose. Lower to chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And take your knees to the mat, big toes together, and shift back. Good. And couple more breaths here. Then come up to all fours. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, return to downward facing dog. Keep your feet hip width apart. Walk your hands to the back of the mat. You can bend your knees, right, quite a bit. Take your peace fingers around your big toes as you really hold on to them tight. Inhale, lift and lengthen, so straightening your elbow. Pull the belly button in, and exhale, drop the head up. You might stay here, maybe using your arms, pulling the head down. Maybe you shift the weight into the balls of the feet as you try to straightening your knees, feeling that broadness over the shoulder blades, chin to the chest. Breathe for 5. Try to rotate the table up as much as you can for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, half. Exhale, let go of your big toes. Slide your hands under your feet. Inhale, lift the legs up halfway. Shift into the weight of the big toes. And then fold again, bend your elbows, chin to the chest. Breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, half. Let go of your hands and walk your hands back downward facing dog. Take a big breath into the nose. Open mouth. Let it go. On the next inhale, lift your right leg up. Stack your hip open. Roll your ankle a little bit. Square your hips out. Exhale, knee to the chest. Shift it forward. Try to kiss your knee. You got the Eddie, come on. Step your foot between your hands. Spin your back heel down. Toe points forward, knees over the ankle. And then inhale, come up. Come Eddie. And then come up. Arms to the long side of the mat. Steady gaze over the middle finger. Pull your heels together, shoulders over your hips. I was looking for his ball, I keep it in my hand. Ring for 5, 4, 3, come down deeper. 2, and 1. Straightening out your front knee, reach forward and then take your hand out. So you can come to the thigh, it can come below the knee. The knee can be slightly bent. Try to roll that hip open, floating the top hand up. Keep lengthening. Shift the gaze. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Look down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Coming back into Virabhadrasana. Exhale, you can take your forearm to the mat. You can do a block, and you can take your hands either to the inside or the outside. I'm choosing the outside today. I press my knee into the arm, and then bring my left hand up and over. And I keep reaching, chin away from the chest. With your heels together for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Look down. Take your left hand to your hip. Step your left foot in slightly, and then take your right hand in front of your foot. And from here, you start coming forward. So you can keep that right toe down. You can maybe float it up, and then try to stack the hip open like you were in that triangle again. Here we are in half moon pose. Floating the top hand up, belly in for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend into the knee and step your right foot to the back of the mat. Turn both toes in. Hips on neutral. Open up your arms. Exhale, hands to the hips, elbows back. Lift your gaze. And again, you press into the outer parts of the feet so your legs are very, very strong. And then start hinging at your hips as you start folding. Take your hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, half. Belly button in, exhale, fold, chin to the chest. Walk your hands back in space if you can. And spread your toes and then rock the way in. Rotate your tailbone up, chin to the chest. Now with the crown of the head comes down. Right, and you're practicing headstand, float your feet up. Otherwise, stay Prasarita A. Into the midline. Don't let go of the bandha. Press into your hands. If you're upside down, take your feet down. Inhale, half. Exhale, walk your hands to frame your right foot to the top of the mat. And then step to plank pose. Lower to chakra. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Back your hip open.
Roll your ankle, open close to your knee. And your foot to the back of the mat, hips are squared. Exhale, knee to the chest, come forward, try to hug the knee in, shoulders over the wrist, press the mat away from you, to the back to 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step your foot between your hands, spin your back heel down. Heel towards alignment, the toe points forward, the knee is over the ankle, inhale, rise. Try to open up your hips as much as you can. At the same time, you're trying to keep your knees straight ahead. So energetically, you want to sort of move it a little bit towards the left. Arm comes out, shoulders over hips. Steady gaze. Breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Straightening out your front knee. Reach forward and then take your hand down to wherever you find your support. Right, roll that hip open, float your top hand up. Be mindful of your hamstrings. So you can keep a little bend. Come back to the breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Look down. Inhale. Come back up. Bend back into the front knee. So you're back in Virabhadrasana B. So either forearm or you take your hand inside or outside, wherever you took on the other side. Snuggle the hip underneath you. And then take your right hand up and over. And then spin your chest open. Keep reaching. Relax your neck. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Look down. Inhale. Rise up. Virabhadrasana. Straightening your front knee. Turn your toe in. Again, noticing if your booty want to stick out, bring it underneath you. Exhale. Interlace your hands behind your back. And then roll your shoulders open. So look, pull the knuckles towards the earth with your gaze. Exhale. Pinch at your hips. Prasarita C. Hand comes up and over the shoulders. Move the shoulders to theirs. Your kneecaps. 3 more breaths. On the inhale, let your hands drive you. Come all the way up. Good. Release your arms. Turn to the front of the mat. Take your hands down. Step to plank pose. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And for a moment, take your knees down and take a seat onto your shins. Right? We're going to come through and we're going to jump through to a seat. Right? And it's not as complicated as it might sound like. So you're going to come back to down dog, but you're going to make it shorter, right, than you had before. And you're going to make your hands wide. Maybe as wide as the mat even, because you want to be able to get your knees between your arms. So from here, you return to your down dog. You lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Right, and then jump just slightly behind your hands. Right, you hug your knees to the chest, cross your ankles, right, and you sort of slide your feet through, and then lower down. Right. So obviously, the higher the hip comes, eventually you can float your feet. Come to the front side of your sit bones, the belly button in, and you start hinging. So you can stay here. Maybe you take your fingers around your big toes. Really Paschimottanasana. Fold over the legs. Don't forget your bandhas, the ujjayi breath, even that we seated in uniform fold. You may come all the way up, and then bend your knees. Take your hands behind your thighs. And Then lift your chin. So my dogs, they speak Swedish. Just so you know, belly button in, they don't understand English. That's why he keeps on coming. Alright, so you can stay here, you can let it go. You can straightening your legs, lift your chin. Navasana, both pose for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your feet down and then hug it all in. Squeeze it in. Alright, you're still engaging your core as you're rounding, holding the belly in. And inhale, open up your arms, lift your chest, come to the tippy toes, lift back up, Navasana, for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, toes comes down, wrap it in. Inhale, lift up. Come back the third time. 5, 4, 8, 3, 2, and 1. Cross your ankles. Roll over onto your hands and knees. And then step to plank pose. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to the chest. Step the foot between your hands. And then lower your knee down and the top of the foot. From here, you just start coming up nice and slow. Low lunge. Or your right hip back, shift forward. Really feel how you're stretching and opening up into the left hip. At the same time, your sides is nice and long. Lifting the heart out, maybe the hand. Exhale, take your hands down, shift it back for half split. Flex your foot, fold over the front leg. Belly in. Inhale, come forward. Plant your hands, tuck your toe, lift your knee. Step your left foot in and ground it to 45 degrees. You have to heels to heel alignment. Draw your right hip back and see how it would feel if you were to straighten your right leg. Keep following your belly out. You lead with your heart. Feel how your shoulder blades will sort of slide back. So it's like little cobra bat. Pyramid pose. Support your hands with blocks. Breathe into it. Inhale, half lift. Take your left hand. You can come to the shin like this, so you can be high up. As long as you try to avoid to put pressure onto the knee. You can take it to your ankle, inside or outside. You can use blocks here, and you twist open. Hold your hand up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your hand down, frame your foot. Step your left foot next to your right and fold. Options here, you can inhale, lift up. Halfway, take your hands to the hips and come all the way up into Samasthiti. Or you take your peace fingers already around your right big toe. Left hand to the hip. Have a little bend into your left knee. And then inhale, rise up. If not, you can stay here. The bend is just bringing the knee to the chest. We are in Chitta Hasta Phalagustasana. Belly button in, lift the chest. The knee can be bent. You really want to feel this line from your foot to your knee, hip, shoulders. And then open the leg out to the right. Shift your gaze over your left shoulder. Inhale, come back through center. Let go. You can bend your knee. You can stay here. You extend your foot for 5. Elbows back. Lift your chest. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set your foot down. Back into Samastiti. Hips on neutral. Hands by your side. Chin parallel. Just where we started, right? Mountain pose. Inhale, arm comes up, Urdhva Bahasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet to plank pose. Lower to chakra. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to the chest, step your foot between your hands and lower your right knee at the top. Down. Your left hip back and start coming up. Nice and slow. You're feeling like how you're lifting already. Your core is engaged. Maybe shifting your hips forward. Bring your arms up. Maybe reaching it back. Take your hands down, shift it back through half split Ardha Hanuman. Front leg. Draw your hip back. Keep the sides as long as possible. Inhale, come forward. Frame your foot, tuck your toe, lift your knee. Spin your heel down and step your foot in. And try to draw that hip back so you squared again. And you see how it feels if you were to straightening your left leg. Fold the belly button in. You have that space. Inhale, half lift. Right hand to the shin, foot inside or outside. Your left hand come to the hip and then inhale, lengthening, and you start twisting. Coming into Paritta, Trikonasana. Maybe taking the hand up. And we breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your hand down. Frame your foot. Step your right foot next to your left. So either again, you inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, rise all the way up. Or you take your peace fingers around your big toe and rise all the way up. Tita Hasta Panda Kustasana. Come all the way up. Bring left knee to the chest. Stay there. Extend your foot out. Balancing on your right foot. Feeling that good energetic line from your ankle, foot, hips, shoulders. Keep the shoulders square to the front. Open the leg to the left. If you steady, shift your gaze over your right shoulder. Inhale, come back to the center. Again, you can bend your knee, let go. Whatever you hold on to, you can straighten your foot. We breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your foot down. Back in to Samastiti. Inhale, arm comes up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hand. Exhale, plant your hands, step to plank pose. Lower to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, down. Dog. Stay here for a moment. Now, if you have blocks, you can use a pillow. I have a foam roller. Works perfect too. Right? You can have it close by. And inhale, right leg lift. Exhale, knee to the chest, step your foot between your hands, and then lower your left knee down. And then untuck the toe. So from here, you're going to come up, all right? So you're not coming into that lunge position. You're just standing like in this kneeling position. Take your hand to your right. You can use a block, whatever you might have. You might want to pad a little bit under your left knee. You're going to roll over the kneecap and reach for your foot. Right? Keep drawing your right hip back so you can be upright. So you bring your foot in so you get this nice stretch. You try to neutralize your hips. You also flip your grip. You know, the back Vinyasa grip. Shoulders are squared. And then you start shifting forward. And then release, let it go. Right, and then shift it back for half split. So you may stay here. Or maybe you will take the foam roller, the block, pillow, whatever you might have that you find. You can take it underneath that thigh. So you're sort of sliding into your split. Right? So you are supported. Right? You can stack as much as you need, or you do none of that. Or you will slide in to your full split. Wondering where I was hiding my ball. It's not the brightest, but we love him. And then from here, slide your foot back. So remove whatever you might have. Tuck the left toe, lift your knee, and then inhale right there. Take your foot down. Inhale left leg lift. Exhale, knee to the chest, step your foot between your hands, and right knee comes down. Right. And then you just rise up to in this kneeling position. Take your left hand to your knee and try to roll over your kneecap. Reach for the top of the foot. It might be that you just bring it in, something like this. You can use the strap as well. You can also flip your grip to that Vinyasa grip. Bring your foot, in that case, just outside your hip bone, and then you shift forward, if you can. Remember, the breath is always your guide. Now let it go. Frame your foot and shift back for half space. So remember, use whatever you need. Right, coming into your full split without hurting yourself. Maybe you fold. Slowly gently start coming up. Tuck your toe, lift your knees, and then left leg up and back, step your hip. Back to your down dog. We're going to come back to a seat, so we shorten the dog. Take your hands a little bit wider again. Inhale, lift your heels. Look way in front of you. And then do a little hop. Cross your ankles, so just in front of your hands, knees to the chest. We're hugging it in. Slide, 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 and we come through. Beautiful. From here, you're going to lie down all the way to your back. Take your left hand onto your hip. Supta Pandagustasana. Inhale, right leg lifts. So it might be a case that you're just holding on to your thigh, but try to keep your left hip down. Maybe you can get your feet fingers. You can also keep your knees bent, right? If you have something like a, what do you call it? Sensation in your hamstring, you are absolutely golden. Right, exhale, lift your head and shoulders. So feel how you're pulling the belly in, right? We breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, lower down. And then open the leg out to the right. Ow! My He's trying to take the ball he found there. And breathe. I thought he wanted to give me a kiss. I'm not giving it to you anymore. Come back to center. Now from here, lift your head and shoulder again. All right? And then let go of your foot. So you can be here. Try to hug it, the leg into the chest. Keep lifting. And exhale, lower down. Right. Take your right hand to your head. And then lift your left leg up. So either to the shin, you can use a strap. These fingers around your big toe. Exhale, lift your head and shoulder. Belly in. You keep breathing. Belly button in. 2 more. Exhale, lower down, and then open the leg to the left. Breathe. Okay, this is the same thing we did standing, right, with our balance. Now we're lying down. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, lift your head and shoulders. Let go and breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your head and shoulder down. Bring your knees to the chest. Make circles. Now, I'm going to see how young you are. I had a teacher once said that this will determine your physical age. You're going to rock on your spine. So I believe I'm 25. Right? You're going to rock on your spine like this. You rock and you rock. And eventually, you're going to plant your feet. You can cross your ankles without your hands. You will stand up into Namaste. It's okay. You can use your hands. Right? So I assume that most of us have a wall. If you're in a park, you can always use a tree. I'm going to use the little camera over here. Right. You want to come into a standing split. So you're going to take your hands down. Right? And again, if you have tight hamstrings, it's okay to look something like this. Right? Your hands are entirely planted into the ground. Okay, you're going to press into your left foot, into your hand, and see if you can lift your right foot up now. Press into the hands, shoulders, belly in, and breathe. And then take your foot down, and then we switch. Taking the right foot up, again, the toe can be tucked. Your knees can be a little bit bent if you have tight hamstrings. You press into the hands, lifting out to the shoulder. And see if you can, pressing into the right foot, and then lift left foot up, belly in, and breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your foot down, and then just come up to standing. Right? So from here, we're going to find our down dog. So we're going to be facing our feet to the wall. So we'll come into down dog. Again, this is a nice way to get weight into the hands again. Your foot will come as high up as your hip, not higher as your hip. You're going to press into your foot. Maybe you will take the other foot. And now you're straightening your legs. Maybe take one foot up. Maybe come down and try the other. A lot of shoulder strength, belly button in. And then take your feet down. So you got variation 1, you got variation 2. If you feel comfortable with that, you will turn facing the wall and you will kick your feet up, right? So if you're inside and you have drywall, don't kick too hard. You don't want to make holes in the wall. If you have pictures on the other side, you want it to stay up, right? So when we kick up, we have to, not using too much momentum, we want to try to keep a controlled lifting up. So from here, you will come into a standing split. You press into the hands, and you just do little jumps with your right foot, pressing into the hands. You're lifting your hips nice and high. And then eventually, you take your feet up. Try to find your neutral hips. You Take the crown of the head into the wall and then move your feet off the wall. Maybe shifting your head off and you are in handstand. You can try that. And when we're done, we return to our mat, coming into child's pose. As you see, when we're practicing our handstands, we have opened up our hips, we have engaged our core, right? We open up the shoulders, all those good parts. And then from there is that when we come to the wall and we start, putting everything together, it's a practice like everything else. It takes time, right? You might not get it the first time, not the second time, not the third time. But we keep trying, we keep coming back to it, and we sit with it and we see what shows up. Then come into all fours and cross your right knee over your left. So you're stacking your knees and then separate your feet. Walk your hands back and take a seat between your legs. So you can sit up on 2 blocks here, right? If you're noticing that your knee is up and it's then coming back and you feel good stretch in your hip. Perfect. It's the hips that we're after right now. So both sit bones are grounded. Take your right hand up, hands between your shoulder blades. You may stay here just stretching your hips, your shoulder, your tricep. Or you will connect your fingertips behind your back. Right. You start belly button in and you start holding into Gomukhasana. Come all the way up. Let go of your hands. Take your left foot and plant your foot just outside your left knee. And then take your right foot close to the hip. So you might just hug it in here, which is perfect. Take your hands behind you. Inhale, left arm, right arm comes up, and then hook your elbow. Sit up tall. Exhale, twist. Try to move your left shoulder from there, belly in, running into the sit bone. And inhale, come forward. Exhale, release. Roll over onto your hands and knees. Cross your knee. And then take your left knee over your right. Back into a seat. Bones are grounded. Left hand comes up. Take it between your shoulder blades. Connect your fingertips. You just hold on to the elbow. You may stay here or you start holding. And come all the way up. Let it go. And then plant your right foot outside your left knee. Bring your left foot in outside your hip. Hug it in. Take your hand behind you. Left arm up. So many variations. Wherever you choose, ground into your hips and your foot. And then your twist. Inhale, come back to center. Release your twist. Bring the soles of the feet together. And then let your knees come out wide. Connecting the other parts of your feet. Take your hands to the ball of your big toes. Sit up tall. Exhale, your fold. Come all the way up. Come into a comfortable seat, cross-legged. You can use blocks if you like. When you sit bones down, take your hands to your knees. Take a breath in through the nose. Open mouth, let it go. Return to the natural breath. Tuning inwards again. You're taking a moment, reflecting over your practice. Reflect
reflecting over the physical sensations, reflecting over the comfortable and uncomfortable. Where did your mind take you? What did you learn about yourself? Feeling this feel of calmness surrounds you. Your heart is open and calm. Maybe you have some clarity in your mind. Take your hands to your heart, chin to the chest. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a beautiful rest of this gorgeous hot day. And I hope to see you again next time. Take care.